the Tesla attack. I've got to see this. This is so dumb.
The FBI investigating the bombs found in a Tesla showroom in Austin as protesters prepare for their Tesla takedown day of action this week. Here's AOC on who she's blaming for the violence against Teslas.
I think Democrats are to blame for why people are so triggered by this, because
no, absolutely
when you're at rallies saying, not you particularly, but your colleagues saying F
Well,
Elon
then who is it?
Musk and using other words, to profane words to describe him, does that rile people up, your supporters, to take action on their own?
I don't know. You know, I think about Republicans calling me a communist and Republicans saying that I hate this country, and I certainly have felt the impact of that.
The thing is that she's right. That's the problem. But the issue is that why is it so hard to just say it's bad to burn up and blow up somebody's car? It's so easy to say that. Why don't you just fucking say it?
Okay, Fox News contributor and author of Califailure, Reversing the Ruin of America's Worst-Run State, Steve Hilton joins us now. We'll get to that book in just a moment. But Steve, what did you think of her remarks there? I mean,
they left. So this incendiary devices, people might not have known about this. I didn't talk about this on my stream. In Austin, I live in Austin, Texas. In Austin, people found bombs and like explosives that were at a Tesla showroom here in Austin. I think I drove by where it is before. Yeah. Some crazy shit, huh? It's some crazy ass shit. You should explain that a car in a showroom is not a nobody car. I don't know why would that matter, right? Yeah, why did you do it? Shut up.
Had an opportunity to denounce this violence.
Mm-hmm. AOC is just such a ridiculous caricature of herself now. What is she talking about? It is very evident that the left are pushing this violence. There's no other word.
They are. I think that they absolutely are. Whenever people call on attacks on Elon Musk and they say that he's a Nazi and stuff like this, you are absolutely dialing up the temperature and trying to escalate things into violence. That's absolutely 100% what's happening. Like, I don't understand, like, because it seems very easy. Like, as somebody, because people all the time come into my chat and they're like, do you denounce, I remember, like, I talk about this stuff, do you denounce January 6th? Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. Like, I don't know why they can't do the same thing. Why is it that you can't just acknowledge that the obvious thing where you're blowing up cars is bad? It's so easy. Is calling someone a communist equal in weight as to calling somebody a Nazi in the USA? No, a Nazi is worse, and I think that the people that take action on it are worse, but I think that they're both bad, and I don't think that AOC is a communist either. I don't think that there's enough evidence to really say that. I don't think they should be saying that about her either, but let's be real here. There's only really one side that's burning down cars. Like, it's not like people, when there's a Bud Light controversy, people didn't go to the Bud Light buildings and try to shut down the factories. It didn't happen.
To describe it, it's political violence. It is terrorism. I remember very clearly growing up in the UK, we had regularly, you'd have little bombs in litter bins on the street, railway stations, in pubs. It was IRA, the Irish Republican Army. It was a terror campaign. It was designed to influence policy. That's what this is. Yeah. It is designed to influence policy, and it's even worse than that because you look at Elon Musk.
Look at this shit. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, this obviously, like, if you saw this in another place, like, for example, if this was a Proud Boys thing and they had started lighting up cars because they thought the cars were from Japan and they hated Japanese people, this would be on mainstream news. They'd want the president talking about it all the time. Everybody'd be going out there. Like, it's so very obvious that this is one-sided, man. It is. It's worse than vandalism. Well, the reason why it's worse is that it's vandalism with a goal, right? It's like the difference between manslaughter and murder. So you're right. It definitely is worse. It's not comparable. Well, I mean, nothing's ever directly comparable. But what my point is that when something bad happens, like the Charlottesville like that, like white supremacy rally thing happened, pretty much everybody agreed that this was bad, right? And it was pretty easy to be like, yeah, this is bad. But the problem is that I think a lot of liberal people refuse to denounce the bad actors in their group. Yeah, even Trump denounced it. Yeah, even Trump did. And he did that right off the bat. So, where's the proof that it's Democrats burning cars? What do you think? What do you mean? Do you really think you need the proof for that? Like, you really think you need proof for that? Come on, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Use your fucking eyes. Think about it for 3 seconds. Who said that? Yeah, what is this? And what's the percentage? Because the old guy keying Teslas with an American jacket looks like a Republican. He looks like a Republican because he's an old white person. Come on, man.
To influence policy. And it's even worse than that, because you look at Elon Musk. This is one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time, probably the greatest entrepreneur. He's trying to help his country. What does this say to any business leader or anyone who wants to get involved with the Trump administration? They're trying to intimidate people. That's why we've got to clamp down on this incredibly hard. It is terrorism, just as
I think that people shouldn't be defending Elon Musk with this. It has nothing to do with him. And I know that might sound weird to say, but it actually doesn't. It has to do with a very simple policy of, are you going to allow people to weaponize, or to use violence in order to achieve a political goal? No. No, it doesn't matter whether Elon Musk is good or bad. Even if you think he's bad, you still shouldn't be able to do this. So, like, trying to argue that, like, oh, well, he's a good guy, that means that like, you shouldn't be doing it. No, that has nothing to do with it. Even if he is a bad guy, even if everything you think about him is true, you still can't go and burn down random fucking cars.
Trump says.
Also, what does it say about the political left that they think that this is a messaging strategy that is going to work? I mean, you tell me what you're seeing as far as the Teslas.
It won't. And in 5 years, people will look back at this in the same way that people look back at the BLM riots now as a disaster. And I think most people openly now say BLM was a scam, and they have a negative perception of it. This will absolutely, in retrospect, be looked back as a embarrassment.
And are they getting rid of them?
I mean,
we've even seen some of the Teslas out on the road who have stickers on them who say, I bought this before Elon Musk went crazy, or whatever it is. But is this a sign that the left really isn't going to learn from the last election?
Exactly. They're not learning at all. I mean, any normal person can see that the reason that they were defeated is they went too far left. And look where the energy is right now in the party. It's the left. It's AOC. It's Bernie. And so it seems to me like they just haven't realized how out of step they are with the American people.
All right, you've got.
I think that's the problem. Yeah, they're completely, totally fucking off course. Massively off course. This is a psyop. Everything's a psyop.
At this awesome book with you, the newly released book, Califailure: Reversing the Ruin of America's Worst Run State. What compelled you to write this?
Well, it's really a warning to the rest of the country. I live in California. Those of us who live in California, we know how bad it is. But you talk about the Democrats now and where they are. The agenda of AOC and Bernie, which seems to be where they're going, that's what's being implemented in California. That's what we have, the AOC Bernie agenda. And on the back of the book, you can see where it came
Well, I think it's also these people getting in the way of themselves. It's like when you're starting to run defense and play the game of like trying to like make it seem like it's not as bad as it is when you're talking about like people that are like burning down random people's cars and keying cars. What you do also is that you categorize yourself as a crazy person. And what happens is that there are a lot of things that, like, for example, AOC was trying to pass a bill that capped credit card interest rates at 10%. I agree with her on that. And it's disappointing that now you can't focus on these important issues that actually matter because there's a fixation around burning down Teslas. It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're own-goaling themselves in a huge way. Yeah, it's still too high. Well, look, it's better than what it is, right? And so, like, that's a good start. But I agree with you, by the way. I think interest is a fucking scam. But that's not the point. The point is that these people are, like, there are a lot of progressive ideals that I very strongly agree with, right? Like, I'm a universal basic income person. I think we should have a government healthcare system. And in general, I think that there should be a lot more government entitlements that people have access to. Like, that's what I believe in. But the problem is that if you believe in that stuff, you also have to take on, like, you're in the party of people who think that terrorism is good, who think that destroying property is protesting. And you think that, like, and you have these issues where these people, like, have co-opted a very good and noble cause, and they've, like, contrived it into bullshit, like, just weird bullshit.
The highest poverty rate in the country, highest unemployment, worst homelessness. We pay the highest taxes, highest costs for housing, energy, gas, everything. So everyone needs to understand how we got here. That's why I wrote this book, how it happened, but most importantly, how we stop it happening.
Yeah.
In the rest of the country, especially as people are thinking about the midterms and, oh, maybe we'll go back a little bit to the left. No.
Yeah.
That's what we've got in California. It's a total failure.
I think that all of the stuff that's been happening, I cannot imagine a single person saying, you know what, I voted Republican and now I'm going to change my mind. I can't imagine that happening with anybody at this point. Find it to be very unlikely. You're allowed to believe what you want, though. You aren't guilty by association. That's a child's mentality. Yeah, but that child's mentality is dominating discourse, and that's the problem. Why do we have to join a cult? Why can't we debate ideas? Because the financial apparatus around the cults are benefited when you join a cult. That's the reason why.
Every front.
I want to play out this sound. Kyle Conforti, California fireman, who says it's hard to think leaders are doing what is best for California based on what's happening. Listen here.
It's hard to look at our government structure and think that they're doing what's best for this state. And it hasn't been more evident than with the influx of illegal immigration into this state. Living here, paying your taxes, and watch them give the money that you paid to other people that haven't even bought into the system. It's discouraging.
You think
it's so obvious, right? I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, it's so fucking obvious. Like, yeah, duh. Like, of course, people are going to be mad if they pay taxes into a system and then all the money goes to people that aren't even part of the system. How do you possibly think that's good?
about the mobility of the rich, right? They don't like what's happening. They can move. They can leave the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that, Steve.
Well, shall I tell you what happened? That guy, the reason he's in this special, Failure on Fox Nation, is because it's illustrating the impossibility for regular people to live in California because of the costs. It made more sense for him as a fireman to move his family to Tennessee because it's cheaper to live there and commute to do his job. That's how
wild.
Crazy it's got. All the taxes, the regulations. That's what we've got to understand.
I've known multiple people that have left California because of how high the taxes are.
How it happened. That's what Califailure does, this book. And as I say, we mustn't let it happen across the rest of the country.
Yeah, such a beautiful state. So much opportunity there. Watch the brand new special, Califailure, with Steve Hilton. Thanks so much, Steve. It's available now on foxnation.com. We appreciate you being here. We'll watch it and we'll read it as well.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.
The problem, I think, is that, like, you have people that are... Like, it's kind of like what that guy said. Like, the video that I was watching, like, this guy here, it's exactly what he said about how nobody is willing to look at a situation fairly, and nobody wants to give away any ground. And because they're not willing to give away any ground, what they end up doing is they just entrench themselves into positions that are indefensible. And then they totally alienate everybody else. And I think that's what happens the most. Yeah, it's really, really frustrating, man. Joyce has been like that, become like children. Yeah. It's like, you don't need to defend. And it's like, I'll give you some examples, right? Like defending the Tesla attacks or trying to minimize them. Trying to minimize and say that it wasn't a massive fuck up that group chat got leaked. That's another example. Trying to act like January 6th wasn't bad. Trying to act like illegal immigration isn't a problem. Taking the side of people that were protesting for actually were destroying property and taking over buildings in college campuses for Palestine, right? These are all perspectives and like positions that nobody, like anybody who's pushing this, in my opinion, has been ideologically captured, and you shouldn't take them very seriously. Because at that point, like, this person it's more important to them that they follow the rules of like what they think is acceptable and not. It's more important for them to do that than for them to think for themselves. And that's it. They're compromised. Yes, they've been compromised. Acting like being anti-Elon and destroying Teslas is the same thing. Yeah, people can hate Elon Musk. Like, that's fine. But you can't burn down a Tesla because of it, right? I mean, that's really the difference.